guys, May Flom here from the studio live. I am just about to dig into a huge scrapbook project and I'm going to take you along here on YouTube. So stay tuned for the videos if you're into scrapbooking, or if you're interested or want to see how that goes, or maybe you just want to watch my adventures, stay tuned. I will be sharing in depth about all of that. But in this video, I want to talk to you about project success, about making sure that you actually can succeed at the projects you want to succeed at in crafting. There's a couple of basic things, and it does not matter if you're talking about canvas art, art journaling, sewing, quilting, jewelry making, scrapbooking, whatever it is. If you don't take a minute and set yourself up to succeed as a creative person, you're going to fail. And spoken as a failure, a many, many times over failure, sure to be many times over again. Now, when I say failure, I'm not talking about messing up. I'm not talking about doing something that's not very good. That's learning experience. That's crafting. That's being a handmade creator. That's just going to happen. I'm not talking about trying to be Miss Perfect over here. I'm talking about the true failure when my inability to sit down, calm down, and handle a few basic tasks before I dig into a project mean that the project never finishes. It's detrimental to my mental health. It's a failure. It's bad. Okay, I'm talking about the negative stuff, and most of it can be avoided. Now, I'm not talking about life changes or things that can happen outside of your control. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things that we do or don't do to set ourselves up for success. So I'll give you a perfect example. I have a couple of projects that I need to finish off from a live show I did for Brother Crafts just this very morning. And the temptation would be to set them aside, move on to new interesting things, because this is just finishing stuff off. I want to go do something new and fun. Well, then these are not going to get finished. And then in weeks, maybe months, I am going to be finding these and going, ooh, I never finished that. And those were for Easter and now it's June and I feel like a horrible person. Let's skip that. Yeah. So there are some things that are very simple where if I've started something and it's on my desk and I want to finish it, meaning I don't want to toss it aside, I do want this project finished, then it stays right here and it gets finished before I get to pull new things out, do new things. So that's one thing. Number two, if it's a bigger project, let's say a scrapbook, because I just got all my pictures. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to take some time to look at what are my goals for this project? What do I want out of this project? What do I need? I'm going to sit down and plan some things out. I was just watching a video from Disney World of an Imagineer talking about building a ride and how, they make tiny models and they make digital this and that, and they do this and that and the other thing. They do all of this work before they actually get materials out and then purchase the materials and then go and build the ride. And I was thinking about that as a crafter. A lot of times I just want to get right to the building and the making. I don't always want to slow down and think about, what am I trying to do here? What are my goals? What materials make the most sense? Am I setting myself up for success versus ooh, that didn't work. Now things are wasted because I didn't think about this at the start. So that's the biggest thing. And depending on the project, it's going to be different amounts of time. I mentioned the big scrapbook project. I'm going to be breaking that all the way down and talking you guys through what was working, what didn't work, how I'm setting that up. But it depends on the project. If I want to let's say I want to make myself a new bracelet. Well, I need to think about this. I know that I need the bracelet to be, to be 7 inches to the clasp, but I also know that I like to have it adjustable. I also know that my right wrist sometimes kind of swells up. So I want it to be adjustable so that if I'm having a swollen wrist day, it still fits. Or if things are annoying me and I want it looser, it'll still fit. And there's things like that I know. So, okay, well, here's the size we need. Here's how I like it to be set up with a certain clasp or a certain chain. Here's the things that I know. kind of taking a minute to plot out what I know or what I need or what's going on before I just start digging in and before I start purchasing. That's a big one. Before I start purchasing. Before I go down to the scrapbook store and buy, and it's disappeared now, but before I go down to the scrapbook store and buy Harry Potter paper, do I even have photos that I need? Is that part of the story? Is there a Harry Potter themed scrapbook page being made? Or do I just think this is cute and I want to buy it, but then I'm going to lose it or never use it or it gets buried? We want to think things through. What is the plan? What are we trying to make? And if you ever want help or if you ever want to talk through, I have a Facebook group, beautiful, wonderful people over there that create all kinds of different things and talk about things. You're always welcome to post over there. I'm trying to get help with this. I'm trying to do this and I don't know, like I can't figure out where am I starting? With sewing, I always think about, well, what's the pattern? What's the size? What size do I need? And there's some things like standard pillowcases. I know how much fabric I need. So I can tell looking, well, I've got 1/4 of a yard. That's not enough. Sorry, this fabric can't be used. But I take the time to look through the project, think it through where I'm trying to go. Now, that's not to say that you can't be spontaneous. That's not to say that things can't happen on the fly. I'm really just talking about the everyday crafting. The other thing this does, taking the time, sorting it out, the other thing this does is when you go to shop, you're going to be more effective, so you're going to save money. When you go to make, when I sit down to make the scrapbook page that goes along, so this is just photos, right? This is just 2 sides of photos. And yes, that's me dangling on a rickety wooden bridge. That was a lot of fun. But when I go to tell that story and scrapbook that page, I've already picked out which photos go on the coordinating page. So the page that goes with that guy actually gets, look at this cute little button, gets my little Simba button. And I already know that. And I already have some kind of mustardy color and some greens to go with it and some browns. So I've already picked a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts. I'm still going to have a creative wild time, but I know how I've divided the story up, how many pages it's getting, what size is appropriate, how many photos I'm telling. I already have all of this information that will A, help eliminate a lot of possible design choices that would slow me down, and B, when I come here to sit down and make it, we're going to just get right into it because I've done this prep work. And this can be broken down into different sessions, into different times. We all have different moods. So we can all have, well, gee, I really felt like doing this or I really felt like doing that. Well, if you don't feel like doing anything, do the planning, do the sorting, do the logistical stuff. It can really, really help. All right, that's it for me for today. I will be doing the series on the scrapbook and how I'm breaking it all down, as well as, and it's disappeared now, but the failed traveler's notebook. The failed traveler's notebook. We're going to have a different video about that. And then I've also got a lot of general crafts, upcycling, fun stuff coming at you here on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Whatever works for you, I'm around. I'm around and I'm crafting and creating. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.